Despite great strides made when it comes to women in the workforce, it is no secret today they certainly don't dominate the construction trades.
For now, we want to introduce you to one woman who is changing up the game a bit. She not only holds her own with her male co-workers, but she also gives them a run for their money. At 21 years old, Pamela Brooks enrolled in a nonprofit program called Youth Build USA. It teaches young people, often high school dropouts, valuable skills. They also get their GED and often go to college. The homes they renovate help rebuild low-income communities. But the lessons Pamela and her Youth Build USA friends learn go way beyond laying carpet.
What I've learned there is that, integrity does go a long way. Doing the right thing does go a long way.
Before being encouraged by Youth Build's female mentors, Pamela had run into some male managers, none too excited about hiring the single mom.
Youth Build program is a great program. They help me with everything, daycare, as far as getting to the program. Even when I didn't want to come, they made sure they called my house phone just to make sure I'd get up and be there.
A report last year says less than 3% of construction workers are women, usually because of lack of female managers and old stereotypes.
She was one of the only females that came in saying, I want to be in construction. This is what I like to do. She led by example.
Now that she's finished her training and is in college, Pamela plans to break down the walls of bias by teaching other young women to build walls of homes. The National Women's Law Center says there are more than 7.5 million male construction workers in this country, but only about 206,000 women. The median wage of a construction worker is over $19 an hour. That's double the median hourly wage of common female roles such as maids, housekeepers, and child care workers. Not bad money.
No, not at all. And there are other trade jobs that pay just as decent. According to Salary.com, a plumber's median annual salary comes in at just over $40,000. Same thing for a chemical plant operator. Medical laboratory technician makes nearly $42,000, while an executive housekeeper comes in at just over $44,000. Salary.com reports that a career firefighter's median annual salary is almost $45,000. A bricklayer makes just under $46,000, while a derrick man who works on a platform attached to the mast of an oil rig, he'll pull in just over $46,000, and a police officer makes just over $50,000. Now, if you're into fitness, Salary.com reports the median annual salary for a personal trainer just over $53,000. Dental hygienist comes in at just over $62,000. And finally, a locomotive engineer can bring in nearly $63,000. Many professions, all of them showcasing different talents.
And let's talk talent for a second. Ever pass one of those big outdoor sculptures and think to yourself, who made this? Well, our very own Sean Stryker found the answer behind many masterpieces found all over the country. Sean?
That's right, Lisa. In today's Day in the Life, I caught up with a public art sculptor, and I found out firsthand that it takes a lot of teamwork to create a work of art that big.
Public art can invoke thought, it can start conversation, and it can inspire some to take action.
I think public art is really very important for the community. I've seen public art revitalize the neighborhood or be part of that process, and I think I'm a big supporter of public art, and we have a great arts council downtown who's doing a lot of great work for the city, and I think that's a really important part. So that a big part of why I do what I do is because I want that interaction with the public.
Stephen Durow has been making public art for nearly 20 years. He says he uses whatever material fits the idea of what he's trying to make. Everything from steel to stone, even glass, a material he just happened upon in college.
Once I took a class, I was in love with the material, but in my heart I think I was always a sculptor. I wanted to make objects, and so I went to my professor and said, I want to cast glass, I want to make solid sculpture with it, and he said, well, I don't know anything about that, but you're welcome to figure it out. And so I spent the last half of my undergraduate career just casting glass and trying to learn on my own.
Stephen has been working with it ever since, creating artwork influenced by the world around him.
When I walk into your office and I see these sculptures, they really stand out to me, and I know there has to be a story behind them.
Yeah, so I was in New Orleans for Katrina, and my studio got flooded there, and these are the only things that survived that event of my work. So The title of this piece is Memory Stones, and it's about the way that, you know, these events happen to us, and then we carry them almost like millstones around our neck for the rest of our lives, and because of the way that they change us.
And it was his move from New Orleans to Salisbury that inspired his first major piece of art on Delmarva.
Well, I moved here 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, with my son, and you know, we were entering into the unknown, and it really sort of struck me when we were crossing the Bay Bridge that we were entering into a new life, that we were entering into everything was going to be completely different for both of us. So the inspiration for that piece was that transition from New Orleans to here, and starting this new life, you know, here in Salisbury.
Incorporated into that sculpture is 8 50-pound glass slabs, all cast by Stephen and his assistants at Salisbury University.
Glass is absolutely a team sport. You cannot make, I mean, I certainly couldn't make my work without my help, my assistants. And those are all students who go to Salisbury University and they volunteer their time. And yeah, I can't say enough about them. They are really dedicated, amazing students. And that piece that you see downtown, for example, would not exist without their help.
He's not kidding about it being a team sport. Just look at how they work together. As one fires the glass to prevent it from solidifying, the other shields their arm from the heat, which allows Stephen the time to come in and add design and color.
So you're using this ladle to scoop out the melted glass from the furnace, and then you have to get it over to the table as fast as possible.
That's right. The glass is cooling off that whole time, and so if we don't get it into the mold really quickly, it won't fill the mold properly, and we'll get seam lines in the casting.
All right, so I'm not ready for that job, but is there another spot on the team for me? Is there something I can do?
Yeah, I think we've got a job for you. Let's get you suited up. But first,
yeah, I got to do this.
We've got a tradition here, so you got to do this.
Awesome.
So the door isn't heavy, it's counterweighted, so you just have to lift so it doesn't get stuck on the door.
So just lift it up,
yeah,
pull it over.
Yeah.
Oh! That's hot.
And you want to be a little faster than that.
Faster than that, okay. All right, oh, man, I'm feeling the pressure. Okay, I got it, I'm practicing.
If I set myself on fire, it's your fault, so.
Please.
A little wider, a little wider. Close it down. Excellent. Open. Good. Good job. Pull it.
And while it doesn't seem like this is an important job, it was. In fact, all the jobs on the team play an important role in the finished product. Of course, the captain of that team is Stephen, who knows how fortunate he is to get to do something he loves every day.
I'm one of the very lucky people who get to get up every day and go do something I love. And that includes teaching and working with the students. It's an amazing environment, and especially Salisbury University has been a really great place to be. And yeah, I love everything about what I do.
Now, Stephen says it takes him about a year to complete a project. Over that time, he sketches out designs and makes models before constructing the final piece. Now, the piece here in Salisbury is downtown at the River's Edge apartment complexes, and it's really neat. The I-beams are repurposed from the old building, and the glass tells a story. You got to check it out.
Certainly will. Delmarva Life will be back in just a moment. But first, here's your chance to win a brand new roof for your home. Spicer Brothers Construction is looking for the neediest roof on Delmarva.
The winner will get a new GAF limited lifetime roofing system. For your link to an entry form and a complete list of rules, go to WBOC.com and click on our picture at the top of the page. Good luck. Delmarva Life will be right back.